to go into the Q&A. So it's a mixture of questions, some questions from people that I know, friends, and most of the questions are from my students. So I will know, though I know for sure. When I see a question from my students, I know, because my students like to ask me typical same thing, like, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? They like to ask those type of questions. First question, why women leave when things get tough? Oh shit, it's not from my students. Why do men place so many expectations on women? Oh boy, sounds like my sister who gave me this question. Why should they settle for a man? I mean, I don't think it's a matter of you only settling for a man, because the man also is settling for you. So I don't understand that part. Like, why should they settle for a man? Why should women settle for a man? I mean, isn't that an agreement? I mean, you're starting a family type of vibe? I don't know. I have no idea, actually. Wow, it sounds like someone up for some whoring shit. I don't know. Maybe someone just wants to go out there, and show themselves and not settle for nobody. I mean, hey, bruh, do you? Why do men have to pay child support?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Okay, have my sound. Cool. Hi everyone. I hope everyone is good. I never really do segments like this where I record by myself or anything like this. So this is not gonna be necessarily part of the podcast that I usually do, usually talking about politics. So this is more of like a Q&A type of session. I have some questions from my students and some random questions online that I received too. And then I'm gonna be going through those questions, and these are my opinions, guys. I need to make this clear. I'm just raising my opinions, so whatever questions that I'm going to get, I try by all means not to look at the questions, so it's just random questions. Well, I saw some of the questions, but I don't know if the questions that I saw are gonna be here or not. I tried to make it as random and authentic as possible, so I did my best around that. Just to start off, actually, I have some notes or letters rather from some of my students. Okay, some of this is written in Chinese, so I don't know if you can see this on that camera, but I'm gonna try to translate maybe some of it. So it was Teachers Day. I'm a teacher. That's my job. Yeah, so I'm going to go through these notes first, basically, and I'm happy actually. Kids are brilliant here, man. See, I have my flower here, my rose. I like it because it's like, it's made out of wool, so it's not gonna, get wasted, I guess. So I'm gonna keep it forever, ever. And thanks to Katharina, actually. Catherine made me this, so thanks to her. And it was accompanied by this letter that I have here. What sculpture is to the block of Mabel? Education is to the soul. Happy Teachers Day, Katharina. Oh boy, what sculpture is to the block of Mabel? Actually, I saw this and I was thinking, what does it mean? What sculpture is to the block of Mabel? What sculpture is to the block of Mabel? Mabel. What sculpture is to the block of Mabel? Oh shit! The statue of David is a sculpture carved from a block of Mabel. Is it carved or caved? Okay, I don't know English, guys. I mean, forgive me. My English is gone. It's nighttime now. It's like, 8 o'clock? English is gone. It's time for Zulu, man. It's got so kulumalis. So, okay. And then education is to the soul. Thank you, Katharina. And then I have another one. This one is close, intact. Okay, I'm going to open this and read it and see what they say. Hopefully I don't get surprises here now. And I'm online and I don't know what people put in these letters. Okay, I should have opened this way early. I have a problem of not opening, things when I receive things from students. Oh, this is from Angel. Thanks to Angel too. Happy Teachers Day. Thanks. Sorry. Oh, thanks for your. Oh, thanks. I don't know what she wanted to say. Thanks for your this year education. I don't know. That's the grammar problems. Angela, we need to fix that. I don't know what you mean, what you by this letter, but okay. And then this one is from the school. It's another letter from the school. Actually, it's nice actually to be part of the community actually, and people care about each other, and what's not. I love that. So cool actually. This is from the school. Beloved teacher, thank you for your hard work and commitment to teaching. Your guidance has been essential in helping us learn and grow. We deeply appreciate your kindness, patience, and dedication to our success on this Teachers' Day. We are grateful for all that you do. Your influence is invaluable, and we are fortunate to have you as our teacher. Thank you too. Okay, that's a nice letter. Reading letters. Okay, that's a good one. And then, okay, I have last one. I have no fucking idea. Like, this one doesn't even have a name. No name anywhere. So I'm sorry if this is you who gave me this letter. I have no idea actually. I have no idea because there's no name outside the letter. So let's see. I have no idea who. I forgot because it's been a long time. I thought I'm gonna open these things and read them, and I never did. What? Oh, okay. You open inside. To Mr. Mlondi, happy Teachers' Day with a smile. Thank you for tolerating me as a student, and I am glad you gave me this chance to delve into psychology. Who is this? Oh, sincerely, Grace. Oh my God, yeah, Grace. Give her the chance. Very smart kid, but naughty at the same time. So yeah, good letters. Thanks everyone who gave me letters. And then I'm going to go into the Q&A. So it's a mixture of questions. Some questions from people that I know, friends, and most of the questions are from my students. But I'm only gonna do like 8 questions. I thought since I'm gonna be doing this segment going forward, I'll be just checking out questions that people gave me and asked me to do on my pod, and then I'm gonna share with them the link. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through now and just check the different questions that I have actually. Okay, most of the questions are from my students. I will know, though. I know for sure. When I see a question from my students, I know, because my students like to ask me typical same thing, like, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? They like to ask those type of questions. So we'll see. And these are the questions that I have here. First question. Why women leave when things get tough? Oh, shit. That is not from my student. Why women leave when things get tough? This man says her wife packed up and left after he got retrenched from work. Oh shit. Why women leave when things get tough? Then this man says her wife packed up and left after he got retrenched from work. Basically what started happening is that he couldn't afford things anymore. And he couldn't afford things anymore. They were slow on dates. They didn't have many dates anymore, So why women leave is the question. Oh, actually, I know where this question came from. This is a question from the show, Steve Harvey's show. Someone had asked Steve Harvey something like that. Actually, I didn't see the response because it was just a small piece on Instagram, I think. Yeah, because this is a social media question that I had sent. Actually, I forgot. I should have done this so long time ago because now I'm thinking, I remember when I first saw this question because it's one of those questions I was collecting over time when I see things that interest me and thought I was going to share. Okay, this is me. This is my opinion. Anyone can have a different opinion to what I'm going to say as to why women leave when things get tough. And the man said, actually, his wife packed and left, basically. Okay. One, for me, in my own understanding of just how in society things sort of like blocked and how as to how we live and what is a norm actually and the standard, And the standard is that men are providers, man, and women are looking for a strong man, someone who's going to be able to protect them and their offspring. So I guess, well, in today's world where you don't have necessary physical wars, or like whereby people have to be strong physically to protect people physically necessarily, but mostly just protection isn't like you are a provider, man. So I think, women are going to pick up and leave if they feel the inconvenience to what they think they deserve, It's arguable whether they really, truly deserve what they think they deserve. We can argue about that every day, all day. But I feel like men, they will leave if they see that, something is not up to their expectations and standards, I would say. So basically, but if you think about it like this, generally, for the most part in society, men will take a broke woman, like someone who's working retail, and the man is a CEO of a big company, right? And make her a wife. Men do that, and women, on the other hand, not so much to that extent, like how men would go, right? So someone once said, Beyonce stood a chance to date Jay-Z, even if Beyonce was working at Burger King. But if Jay-Z was working at Burger King, he stood no chance in dating Beyonce, And that's the difference, bro. Just because it's how just the world we live in is like that, A man would take a woman who's struggling and lift up her struggles and just, make her a wife and take care of her, bro. So men, to me, in my own opinion, again, generally men are very romantic, right? Romance, in my opinion, is like, men are romantic, and romance is about impressing women. Romance is for women's happiness, right? And men, like basically traditionally, have to impress women and show that they have the strength to take care of her and protect her and feed her offspring. This is in a traditional sense. Men are supposed to be like that in a traditional sense. And as soon as women don't get that sense that you are still able, to support, I don't know how long they give you. Some will tell you I will leave in 2 weeks if you don't work anymore. 1 month. Someone can give you a year. I don't know, man, but it's just how it is. That's just as much I can say, bruh. Like basically, in short, bruh, in love, men are love in a condition that they can be A, B, C, bro. As soon as you stop being that, and then you will never know, bruh. You never know what will happen to you. Just unfortunate, bruh. It's the world we live in, and things just work like that, Man, bruh, you have to impress a woman. You have to be romantic. Buy her flowers. You have to show up, dog, Try to impress her. Because romance, bruh, I don't care who says what. Romance is just about impressing women, bruh. Romance is for women. If I think about my friends and people I know, I don't know anyone who, like any of my friends who've had maybe like a girlfriend who's romantic, When it's their birthday, their girlfriends will get them what? Maybe a game, skip a bola, like a soccer t-shirt, a PlayStation type of thing, great, But women will never like go out for you like in a romantic man. Women are just not that romantic like that, dog. But you're gonna find some great women who gonna take care of you now. That's for sure. But I'm still saying, I'm sticking on this one. Romance is for women, bro, and romance is just about impressing women, bro. It's just about that, dog. Yeah, bro, I'm sorry, dog, if that happens to you. But anyway, I need to move on from this question. Let me go to another question so I cover all these questions. Vandaag! Okay, second question. Why do men place so many expectations on women? Oh boy, sounds like my sister who gave me this question. Why do men place so many expectations on women? And what about women's dreams and wishes? Why should they settle for a man? Damn. It's something that my sister would say, okay? Why do men place so many expectations on women? Okay, in my own opinion, I'm gonna maybe use me. I think when I set expectations, it's because I put in an effort. So then somehow, one way or the other, I end up setting some certain expectations based on the efforts that I put in. Now, that's me. I cannot talk for all the men. I don't know. So I feel like maybe it would be unfair for a man who is not putting in the work to have expectations. So for an example, if you know that you ain't shit, like you the type of guy who doesn't care about your woman, you cheat on her, you don't treat her well, you don't buy her shit, you don't take care of your woman, you don't, do your shit, you don't give her money, dog, that's the world we live in. If you know you're that guy, well, they will give her money. That's what I can tell you for sure. Niggas out there will give her money. And best believe, they will tap that shit too. They will tap your woman. So you shouldn't have expectations if you are that guy. You shouldn't have expectations. You cannot have expectations if you are that guy. I'm sorry, bro. If you know you are that guy that doesn't take care of your girl, niggas will take care of her for you, dog. So you can't have expectations that they're tapping her now. It's just like that. That's what I would say, But if, on fairness, on the guys who take care of their women, I mean, they should have expectations because of the efforts they put in. That's what I would say on that part. What's about women's dreams and wishes? This one is tricky. The reason I'm saying this one is tricky because as men, bruh, like, let's be honest, to a certain extent, I feel like there's so much compromise that women have to do when they are with us, especially in the ideas of building a home. Like, okay, let's say your woman will settle for maybe being like, let's say, a stay-at-home mom, maybe they're taking care of the house, the kid, and stuff like that, and then end up not necessarily pushing themselves that much towards their careers. Not all women actually agree with this or end up doing this, but I'm just saying, let's say a woman does settle for that, and they're relying and counting on you that you're gonna go out there and get the bread, and always be there for them. And then you start, playing games and stuff like that. That's very tricky for them because now it's an inconvenience, right? That now you are changing your mind about how you feel, maybe about them. Maybe to a certain extent, you can say that's very tricky because women's dreams and wishes are gone by then. Someone is 45 years and they gave you 10 years of their lives thinking, they can count on you. And that's very tricky, bro, to give up your dreams and wishes. Actually, I wouldn't advise that, but I understand, at the same time, that's why it ends up to being like that. I understand it, but I wouldn't advise for that, like, at all. I wouldn't advise for that, that someone gives up for their dreams for someone, Yeah, this is a very tricky question because most of the time, actually, if you look back, like our grandmothers, if I look at my granny never had, maybe not long time ago, I mean, she had to work, of course, but she mostly like counted on my grandpa, as to be a provider and to have things to be able to take kids at school. And when my grandpa was gone, she struggled even harder, than how they would struggle with him if he was around. And yeah, that's very tricky. Yeah, so, well, kudos to that question. Why should they settle for a man? I mean, I don't think it's a matter of you only settling for a man because the man also is settling for you. So I don't understand that part. Like, why should they settle for a man? Why should women settle for a man? I mean, isn't that an agreement? I mean, we're starting a family type of vibe. I don't know. I have no idea, actually. Wow, it sounds like someone up for some whoring shit. I don't know. Maybe someone just wants to go out there, and show themselves and not settle for nobody. I mean, hey, bruh, do you, dog? Do whatever you want to do, bruh. I can't say anything. Why do men have to pay child support? Damn! Why do men have to pay child support? It's obvious. The reason that men have to pay child support is so that, because for the most part, I think let's look, if you look at child support and the reason for child support, actually, after all, like the actual reason. I know that women now are using child support to get ahead in life and shit like that. I mean, we know that. That's facts. It's just facts. Women are using child support now to get ahead in life, But let's think about, because this is, by the way, these are high profile people that we always see on media, and this idea of women dating rich men so that they can make, bucks. And I mean, look at top 10 richest women in the world, billionaires. They made up their money from divorce and all those type of stuff. So we know that happens. But just let's think about just a normal, typical, stereotypical women you can think about out there in the world. let's be fair and honest, guys. One, Amachita, they don't really have money like that for women to take, Yeah, I know this is what is shown for the most part, but not all of us are making big bucks like this, like to the point that a woman will actually have something substantial to save their lives by getting child support from me. If I had a kid or some shit like that. I mean, child support is for a normal, typical women and men who are struggling somewhere in the trenches and umchita because they are not the one who are carrying the kid and who are staying with the kid, and then they think they can just get away without taking care of their babies. Child support is for that, actually. And that's why men have to pay child support. It's for that. I know in social media and with the industry and how things are like in our days, child support is now $40,000 and stuff, but that is for those rich ass guys out there, right? And true, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous the things that women do now to try to get ahead in life, it's ridiculous. But for the majority, 80-70% of the world, and people that are close to me in my life, I know for a fact that they're not paying that much in child support, They're not paying that much, bro, in child support. A guy is paying 1,500 rand, 2,000 rand for child support because that's what they can afford, But on TV and in social media, dog, people are getting 400,000 a month. These celebrities, 400, 500, $150,000 and stuff, 20,000. Tyrese, actually, while we are on that, Tyrese was arrested. Well, at least according to the reports. Was arrested for not paying child support of 20,000 for a 2-year-old kid. Now, what the fuck is that? $20,000 for a 2-year-old kid, dog. The hell? What does a 2-year-old kid buy with $20,000 a month? Out of your mind, bro. Of course, in that sense, you can tell that the system is being manipulated to support lifestyles of certain women. What I hate about something like the Tyrese case, I would say, is because we are talking about a mother who can support themselves. They're a doctor, and I mean, they're quite well off. So, to say then he has to pay $20,000 per month for child support, I think that's really ridiculous and stupid. Because if someone wants that much child support, then this means they're not fit then to take care of the kid. Why should they have a kid then? Why not give the kid to the person who can afford to pay for the kid? Yeah, well, I mean, if I have to give you so much in child support, might as well just give me my kid back then. Like, I don't understand that. To be fair, I think the law in that is really fraud, bro, to a certain extent. 20,000 for child support, dog. 20,000 US dollars, by the way, not rands, dog. Boy, nah. I don't agree with those things. But hey, man, it's the lifestyle that you live. You are rich, and I mean, your kid should also have the same level of lifestyle. That's what they say in judgment. But we know that this money doesn't go to the kids. It doesn't do it is not get spent, or not all the money gets spent on this kid. That's the truth of the matter. The money is to support the lifestyle of the women, actually, rather than the kid. So anyway, let me move away from this question. I still have a lot of questions to go. Actually, let me just leave this child support question. I have a lot of questions to go. Why there is a notion that the black people, especially black men, commit the most crimes in relation to America? Okay, I can tell you with confidence that this question comes from my history student. This is a student from history who asked a question like this. I can tell from how the question is phrased, because to them, I think the reason also they would ask me such a question is because to them, a black person, they just associate all blackness with America, because that's what they see on TV and get the most. They will probably have a question like, can you rap, type of thing, because you're black. I mean, but anyway, why there is a notion that black people, especially black men, commit the most crimes in America, especially. Okay, let's be honest and fair. In my own experience with interacting with like black Americans and just seeing Americans and talking to people who are from America or who are Americans, just my experience also with like the American culture from afar, watching it on TV and everything, and the stats actually, because I would like to think of myself as an academic, which I am. So based on the stats, and you cannot avoid, the fact that Black Americans are the most incarcerated in America. They are most jailed race in America, you would say, within the figures of their population, comparing to the population of other races. So Black Americans, especially Black American men, are the most to be jailed. There's so many reasons for this. Okay, one reason is obvious: socio-economic disparities, you would say. This is like one of the typical reason, right? Basically, someone coming from a certain neighborhood, they are prone to commit these things. Actually, they like, if you come from the type of neighborhood that they show there, the environment, it's prone that you're gonna be like that. I feel like I'm thinking, because there's an experiment. Actually, I think this experiment was by who? It's Alexander and Simon. I think it's an experiment that was done in 1970. It was called, what was the name of the experiment? 1970. It's because these guys are Canadian psychologists. Actually, I saw this in psychology. I teach psychology. In 1970, two guys, it's Alexander and some of his colleagues, including Simon. They conducted an experiment. It's called the Rat Park experiment. Yeah, Rat Park. The Rat Park experiment. I feel like the Rat Park experiment didn't just capture the influence of drugs, basically in a community, how drugs will influence a community, but rather just how the environment generally influences a person. So if you look at the Rat Park experiments, they put rats, in a cage, and then when they put them in this cage, the cage is empty. Rats have two choices. There's water with heroin or morphine, right, rather, and then there's water with drugs, basically, which I think is heroin or morphine. I think the first experiment was like heroin and the other was like morphine, I forgot. But there's water with drugs and water without drugs, right? And what they noted is that in this empty cage, rats are supplied with water with drugs. Rats tend to choose mostly the water with drugs in this empty cage. Like, they will literally drink water with drugs and they end up overdosing in drugs. But then Alexander realized that, no, man, this cage is empty. Let's see if I can just make the cage a little bigger and then put the things that rats can play with, like make it like a park. So they put wheels, running wheels, like they made a creative park for it. And then they installed water with heroin, which is drugs, and some water that is clean. And guess what? Because there's so many things to interact with, they put other rats too. So there were more rats. So it was like a community of rats now in this park, right? Compared to where they isolated the rats was by itself, and also the rats had no other rats to interact with on the other cage, and the rats had nothing else to interact with except for the water with heroin and the water with clean water. So the rats ended up misusing drugs. But then in this cage where there's more things, the rats actually preferred mostly of the time to drink the clean water over the heroin water. When you compare the two cages. So one thing you can take from there is that when you have things, you have structures and supports around you, if your life is placed in that sense, and then you'll be able to do better compared to someone who doesn't have supportive structures around them. That's pretty obvious, one might say, at this point. It's obvious that having some things and support structures around you, that's much actually, it's helpful for the individual not to end up in crime. Actually, the environment is so key, I would say. So environment, I would say, is one of the reasons. Cultural narratives, stereotypes, these things of I'm a gang, all this work shit they portray in music videos, the culture of drugs, nightlife, all those things, I would argue, they contribute into the black men, especially in America, committing crimes the way they would do. So racial profiling too, and discrimination for sure. Racial profiling and discrimination central, because a black young person in America driving a nice car is much more likely to be stopped and checked compared to a white man driving a nice car in America. So like those things all together, they count, right? But there's this notion that I saw from this stupid white American guy. I forget his name. He's one of the YouTubers though. He's very dumb though. Is this notion that black people are inherently criminals? It's stupid. Because if this was the case, why in Asia they don't have the same problems as in America? Why? Why jails in Asia are not filled with black people? I'm not even talking about a country like China or South Korea where there are black people. I'm talking about the whole continent, Asia. There are black people who live in Asia, black people who are born and raised in Asia, right? There are black Asians, people basically who their mother or father is an Asian and their mother or father also is an African, and they are here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, next question, Blondie. Okay, life is for us to live, but we spend our whole lives planning to live our lives. Why don't we just live our lives? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, damn. Damn. Yo, and we spend so much of our lives planning to leave them. Actually, that's what we do. We spend so much of our lives planning to live our fucking lives. And this is why, I said this before, I think I was talking to JC. I said this before. This is why I'm retiring in my 30s, bro. Forget it. I'm not reaching 40 at work. I forget, man. I forget it. I'm retiring in my 40s. I'm sorry, Chance. I'm retiring, bro. 40s, I'm out of here, dog. In my 40s, I'm retiring. Like, that's me, though. I don't know other people, but that's me. I'm not working until my 50s and 60s and shit. I'm not retiring at 50, that's for sure. Fuck that, bro. That's I can say for sure. Why? So life is for us to live, but we spend our whole lives planning to leave them, to live our lives. Why don't we just live our lives? Okay, one, let's be realistic. One of the biggest issues, man. Unfortunately, you need moolah to live this life, eh? You need moolah, bro. You need money to live here, dog. You know, without money, and then what? So that's why people work their whole life planning to have freedom at some point whereby they are unemployed, or they are not necessarily working. Let me put it like that. They are not necessarily working and they are able to live their lives. So you need some sort of income coming from somewhere. You need shelter. You need food. You need water. So you need income as a result of those things. You need electricity. There are bills coming, dog. So in a way, that's the reason. So the reason for what is being said right now in this question is just because we need those things. You need shelter. You need food. You know, so whatever attitude you may have and think, yo, I want to live my life and what's not, well, you're going to struggle in that life if you don't plan for it. I guess that's the reason people end up planning. But the problem is when the planning is forever. Bro, I'm setting up forever bread. This decade, bro, setting up forever bread, bro. I'm not reaching my 40s, bro. Forget it. I just turned 30 years old, actually. I'm 30, for people who don't know. And I am not about to work my whole life. Like, this is it, bro. My 30s are the last bit. I don't even think I'm going to reach 37 working, actually. You know, if I'm working, it should be in a sense that, I mean, bro, yo, because of work, as I'm thinking, I got so unhealthy. Like, bro, I can't do so much, dog. You spend your whole fucking time at work. You go at work at 7:30. You come out at 4:30. Like, bro, your time is limited and you want to do other things that you're passionate about. And life just doesn't allow, dog. It is what it is, dog. You know, 9-to-5 game, dog, is not good. So I advise that people set up their lives in a way that they don't have to work like that and they are in control of their time. You know, I think this is the most important thing one can say, you know. But, yeah, life is tough like that, bro. And it is what it is, I guess, bro. We can just say that it is what it is, okay? So that's the question around that, but yeah. Let's see. Bro, I swear you can have your degrees back, bro. You can take the degrees. All the education I have, you can have it back. Nah, dog, I'm not working my whole fucking life. And this idea that we plan our lives until the end, bro, waiting for pension, can never be me. Somewhere along the line, I'm putting down the ropes very soon too. Do you believe in God? This question comes from a history student. I know for sure. The reason I know that this question comes from a history student is because in history I'm teaching world history and psychology. So in history we were talking about world, like religions. Actually, we're talking about different religions, and I think this question comes from them, I'm sure. So do you believe in God? I know the answer to this. Actually, I'm not thinking about the answer per se. I'm thinking about how I want to phrase what I'm going to say. So, to me, the world is so perfect, and in a sense of it cannot be coincidental. It seems like there's a certain purpose, like, to all this, the world. I mean, bro, there's night, we can go to sleep. In the morning, we wake up, there's light, there's the sun coming up. When we're thirsty, there's rain. Food grows from the ground, and we can eat food. And human beings are made from particles of the stars. Basically, everything is from the stars. It is too accurate and perfect, bro. The whole thing. There's oxygen, people can breathe. It's too accurate to be all just coincidental. That's my issue. The measurements are too accurate. The life is too accurate to be coincidental. So in that sense, hell fucking yeah, there is a creator. Whether it's God, whoever, whatever you want to call it, but I'm certain there should be a creator. It is impossible you can have a world like this and this perfect and accurate and have no one who made it. It's just coincidental. It's just, no, I don't buy that. But I have some limits to this God that we're talking about. No, I have some limits. Because my biggest issue is that once people say God, they want to be done. That there is a God. Nah, we're not done. No. Who's this guy? The astrophysicist from America. The black guy. Is it Neil? I think it's Neil deGrasse or something like that. It's Neil who? Let me check. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, Neil Tyson. That guy. I know you guys know him. The black guy. He's an astrophysicist. He once said something that's very interesting, actually. He said, basically, if there is a God, then God is not that powerful then. Or if you say God is powerful, then God cannot be all good. Because as we say, God is good all the time, whatever, God is good. That saying of God is good all the time, God is good. Nah, it can't be both true. It cannot be both true. You cannot have a tsunami killing people, leaving people broke, living homelessness, like creating havoc, have all these things, and then say God is good and God also is powerful at the same time. Doesn't work like that. It's either God has power and God is bad, because technically, I mean, look at the world, dog. Look at the things that's happened. People who are dying from diseases and stuff like that. So there's no evidence to say God is good all the time. If God is good all the time, well, God is not that powerful then, because if he was good all the time and he was powerful, he would do something about it. I know people who argue against this type of analogy will say things like, it's God's plan, you cannot, God knows better and what's not. They like to argue all that, but I like to call bullshit on that. I'm sorry, just nonsense to say that, actually, because the world, bruh, look at what goes on, dog. People die here. Shit happens in the world. So we cannot say that. I would argue we cannot say God is good all the time and say God is all powerful. This can't work together. So I am for the idea that I don't think that there's any I don't think there's much interference in terms of what's going on in this world, in terms of gods and what's not. I don't think so, bruh. But maybe spirits can align and things can happen that we cannot explain. True, but I just don't think it's like there is a hand of God playing much, to the ins and outs of the world and what happens. I think that's just nature taking its course, man. It just is what it is. Nature taking its course, man. I don't think there's anyone who can save you. If you think there is someone who can save you with your problems and shit, get up and get it, dog. Yeah, so in the God stuff, I believe that there's a God given the accuracy in how the world is like. I just think there's some limits to how the God is and how God operates. I think there's some limits. This is what I'm gonna say. Like, I just don't think it's the way it is portrayed and shared in religion right now. I just don't think so. Christianity doesn't, for me, or any religion, not just Christianity. I'm saying Christianity because it's a religion I'm mostly close associated with, raised a Christian, I just don't think it covers, like, the whole, God ideology. I just don't think it covers it, man. And yeah, that's just that. So what is the most significant lesson you have learned from a past failure? Oh, shit. Damn. What is the most significant lesson you have learned from the past failure? Oh, boy. It's very hard to say, man. Hey, I don't learn that much. Hey, for my failures, I would say, I don't know. I feel like because my failures, I would say, okay, let's just deal with my failures. If I think about a fail that I've experienced in my life, whereby I know, like, this was a fucking fail in my life that I know is a fail, that I know actually is the fail. And just a couple of things. But the most significant one, as it says here, a significant lesson, it's just in relationships, man. I have failed. I have to agree in that. In my life, I might not be as that rich, but I'm quite successful. I've done well for myself. I would say, in the standards of where I'm from, I've done really, really well, actually. Sometimes I think I shouldn't be here, because of the things that I've been able to do, So I've done very well for myself. So, the things that I've felt in these relationships, I've had, for some whatever reason, I cannot really pinpoint, but it's my relationships I've been cheated on one too many times in my life, and I've wasted so much of my time too in relationships, like so much of my time, and you feel sometimes you wish someone can just tell you early that, they don't feel the same way, or they didn't vibe like that, or they're not planning to be with you, so you can just move with your life, actually. You wish that things can turn out like that, Someone just tells you that, bro, can you, so that you don't spend fucking 5 years in a date with someone, and thinking you have a future with someone, and at the end of the day, they choose something else over you, Yeah, man, I would say that's the biggest fail that I would say I've had in my life. I spent too many years in my life dating people, like basically for nothing relationship, like, wasting time technically, because they never get anywhere and they end up failing way late. People are cheating, someone is pregnant, they're having kids with other people and shit like that while in relationships. So I've seen it all when it comes to that. So that's my biggest fail. It's hard to say what lesson I would take, but actually the lesson maybe that I can say from that was, it helped me to understand that I need to plan my life around me. Don't plan my life around counting that other people are going to live up to what they say they would be for you, So plan my life around me. I think that's the biggest thing I would say from that I just planned my life around me and thinking that, okay, where am I going next, and what am I, like, how does success look like for me, without having to involve someone else's life into how my life went. I nearly decided so many things, actually. If I to think back, the relationship that I got off from, I was not even gonna leave the country and go overseas if that relationship like existed. I don't even think I would be doing this podcast if I still had that relationship. I really don't think so, because my life was around the relationship. I planned my life around it. And so yeah, hey man, fuck, bro, it's tough. It's a tough one. So just being independent and just making sure that I'm planning my life around me and I do things for me, and I plan things for me, I make this fucking money, dog, for myself and by myself. I get it, get to the door, know what you're doing, I do it like that for me and know that I'm doing like that for me rather than having someone else. Yeah, that's just maybe a big lesson that I've taken from that. How the pain of having to support another person because you think you are building your partner. The fuck, bruh. Hey, bruh. Yeah, it's do your things, guys, but damn, don't count on the person like that. Don't count on the person like that, bruh. You're gonna have difficult time. What do you believe in? What do you believe in? Truly, that is mostly against the norm. Oh shit! What do you believe in truly that is mostly against the norm? Okay, I know that I'm gonna break some people's hearts when I say this. I'm so sorry that I have to say this, but I have to say it. The question is, what do I believe in truly that is mostly against the norm? And my answer to that is prayer and the God stuff. I need to say this out loud. Actually, I don't pray. I do not pray. I stopped praying when I lost my father. I think it was 2018. I told myself I will never ask God for shit. And I don't need to ask for shit. And if I die too, I die. And it's guaranteed. This is another thing. What was the point? That's what I thought to myself. Like, what was the point of praying and asking for life? What was the point of that whole shit? If you are guaranteed that you will die anyway, and bad things are gonna happen to you anyway, regardless. I don't care how much you can pray, and bad things are gonna come for you, and they will happen anyway, regardless. So for me, it was prayer. I just stopped believing in that. I've had good friends actually. I need to say Tracy being one of them. Actually, she sort of made me see things differently too. Kind of got me back into looking into religion and praying and stuff. But I've had like I had stopped praying for a long time before she did that. So for me, I just live life basically on what life is, the actual existence that I see. Because I thought to myself, if these people on the Bible or the people that we're praying about, like reading the Bible, who wrote the Bible, whatever, lived this life, they were here and they experienced the life themselves here. I'm experiencing life myself here. So I will say prayer, bro. Actually, I did so many things without having to pray for them. So many things, and I got them done. I just believe that I just need to apply not the spiritual world and stuff like that, just reality, bro. Apply reality. Things work on probability and shit. Just math, bro. I never prayed for an interview, prayed for a job. Never. I just do it. I get up, you lose some, you win some. If you go to 100 interviews, well, 1 or 2 are gonna catch. It's just how much are you putting in the effort. And to me, life is just like that. And I think this is what I would say is mostly truly against the norm. Because many people believe in prayer, and I understand it, As someone who does psychology, I would understand that the most. Trust me, I understand how prayer would work, especially psychologically. And the sensation, or not sensation, but the hope and the inspiration of thinking that there's a God who is looking out for you and who will protect and take care of you is very liberating, actually, to an individual. That's very clear. It's very liberating, and people would want that. But for me, bruh, that was it. Like, I don't think that I need to pray to get shit done. That's just me. I get shit done regardless. That's how I feel when it comes to that. I know it's an unpopular view actually to have. I just think like you can pray for other things that's absolutely outside of your control, in a sense that maybe there's things that are spiritual and shit like that, Otherwise, I try to solve problems myself. I don't count on anything, no God and stuff, bruh, fortunately. But I still believe, guys, there's God. Don't get me wrong. It's just that maybe my mind is a little twisted. Any advice to the young... Advice to the younger you? No. No advice to the younger me. If I could go back, there's nothing I would say to myself. No, I did everything I was supposed to do. There's nothing I would say to myself, actually. No, I did everything I was supposed to do. Like, there's literally nothing I would say to myself that's different to do. Like, nah, I lived the life like a kid, and I was popular when I was young in high school, and I lived my life. I did everything that I was supposed to do as a kid, you know. I enjoyed my life as a kid, and I'm glad actually that I had such a lovely childhood in that sense. I enjoyed my life. I lived such a rich childhood. My life was balanced between living in rural areas in Hluhluwe and then living in Newcastle, which is more like a township type of vibe, Ikati, you know. So my life was balanced. My life was very rich, you know, in that sense. You know, I had such a rich childhood. Not rich as in terms of wealth and money, but rich in terms of life, you know. Rich is not money, people. Just rich in terms of life. My life was very rich. Cannot match my childhood, man. Fuck no. My childhood was brilliant. I wouldn't, as a kid, there's nothing to, I would say, oh, because as a kid, even now as an adult, I don't smoke, I don't drink, you know, like, so I've never had those periods in my life, as much as I lost my parents very early in my life, but I never had periods in my life where I broke down, as in like my life was just in shambles, I nearly went to jail. Not necessarily, you know, I never had those things. Everything that happened was supposed to happen, the good and the bad, and I was just being a kid, and I was a kid there, you know, and my life was like that. So there is no advice I would give to my younger self, frankly. Actually, I had such a good childhood, and I was a good kid, so nah, I'm good with that. So next one is, what is the purpose of your life? Damn! Who wrote that shit? What is the purpose of your life? Yo, this sounds like something that my psychology students would ask me. Shit. The purpose of my life. That's a tough one. The reason I'm saying it's a tough one, actually, because I feel like for the most part, actually, I lived so much of my life for my family, to take care of my family, because I've grown to realize that everything doesn't matter anyway. You know, we are all guaranteed to die, so what's the point? I mean, all the things that I wanted to achieve, I feel like I have achieved them in a sense. I mean, I wasn't even the type of person to want to be rich and have a lot of money and shit. Like, I never really wanted those things. It's a simple life. I just wanted to be able to buy food, put food on the table. A simple life. I feel like I've gotten more than that. I have more money than I ever wanted to make. I make so much money than I ever wanted to make. So, like, you know, it's not... Yeah, I would say that, because now, if I think about my dreams and goals, it's like, I know my dreams and goals don't matter, because I've achieved them and I will leave them here. So what was the point anyway? Doesn't matter, you know. I have a nice car. I drive a Mercedes-Benz, my favorite car. You know, it was either Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or BMW, and I chose a Mercedes-Benz. I love a Mercedes-Benz too. So, you know, I have the things that I wanted to achieve, and it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? You will die and leave that Mercedes here. I live in a nice place right now. I'm like, my place is beautiful and nice, but what doesn't matter anyway. So that's my point. So what is the purpose of my life? To be fair, I feel like it's just my family, because those are the people who matter to me the most. My family, my close friends, that I'm able to have impact on their lives, you know, my community then at large. So family, friends, and then my community at large. I want to have impact on them and do good by them. And I feel like that's my purpose in life. Otherwise, everything else that I achieve for myself, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Because everything I have, I'll leave here anyway. So, fuck is the point anyway. Give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. Whatever that I have myself, I don't really give a fuck about that. Yeah. So, purpose of my life is like has nothing to do with me. It's less actually to do with me. More to do with people that are closer to me and people that I love, actually. Yeah, that's what I would say, man. I'm just here to serve, bro. You know. Yeah, so that's it. That's the Q&A segment with Umlondi, Wawangubane, Umbongo, so much, Umani no mafu, Unkopo Gabafu. Yay! Suganin Madoda. Thank you.